Hello, everybody, and welcome in. How are we doing today? Let me tell you, I'm very excited because I put up a vote for what we should stitch on, and y'all chose exactly what I wanted. It's exciting. Um, I started Star Dragon last night from Alforst Embroidery, and I put 500 stitches into it, which completes its category for the month. But if y'all tell me I have to stitch on it some more, well, who am I to complain? Right? Right. So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome in. I am so excited to be here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get stitching um, and let everybody trickle in because it's early. It's 1 in the afternoon. It is early for me, it's early for y'all. We'll see who we get today. All right, I gotta switch views. I'm really over this chair, y'all. I just want to sit still. Okay. So, let's bring the camera on down so y'all don't have to see my messy table. There we go. All right. Shine a little light on the subject. Pull up my Oh, look, the pattern's still up from last night. Because literally, when I got off of stitching on this on Zoom with friends, I went straight to bed. So, this is Star Dragon. Hello, Daniel. Welcome in. Um, this is Star Dragon from Alforst Embroidery. I'm doing it 1/2 on 40 count. Verdal, because Verdal is like stitching with on silk. It's just absolutely smooth. One of my favorite things to stitch on. If I can find the hole. Hey, Kate, welcome in. How far did you get on yours last night? Kate and I both started Alforst Embroidery Star Dragon last night, along with some others. And I had to hang up my hat before everybody else did because I try not to get too far off my work schedule. And I slept until like 9 this morning, so that's going to be fun. Trying to transition back to 3:30 in the morning. 622. That's pretty good. Got past my 500. I stopped at 502 last night. So I was very excited when this one got voted on to work on today. Because technically I hit my goal for the month on it, so it could have gotten put up. But y'all tell me I have to stitch on it, well then I have to stitch on it some more, right? We So this is Star Dragon from Alforst Embroidery. Myself, Kate, Shannon, and Cheryl all started this. The pattern is right here above my head. And we all started this, and Holly started an Alforst Embroidery, but not Star Dragon. I can't remember what the name of hers is. Um, so the 500 of this was my start from last night, and then I'm working on it again because it got voted on um, on my community board. get some more stitches. And it took everything in me last night to go on to this gold color instead of jumping down and doing the red flower that's right here. So we might have to see some red flower before the end of stream today, just because I can't wait to bust open that thread. It is gorgeous. Vintage black sampler for Holly. That's right. Vintage black. I knew it had black in the name, and that's all I could remember. And that's probably because I thought how convenient she's using DMC 310 black for it. I did my daily 100 this morning on Alice in a Dolly Dream and got the page finish and had to move the Q-snap. It was awesome. And then I was able to move the Q-snap in such a way, it was very difficult, but I was able to move it in such a way that I should be able to get the entire first column done, because I have a full page and then like 20 stitches on the last page. So I'm just going to go all the way down before we move back up to the top. So at that point, I will have had all the rows, all the top row and all the top column. I'll know the dimensions of the piece. So that'll be nice. And then it'll just be filling in the middle. And this one I ordered the, actually I think I did it for all 3 of the ones in this set, but I ordered the Al Forest threads. So they're specifically made for this project, and they are very beautiful. So I haven't busted open the green yet. We've got that color there. I'm missing one. Oh, here we go. This is the gold color I'm stitching with right now. And then this red that is just jaw-dropping. So those are the only 4 colors in this project. So that's a lot of fun. It is very quiet around my house today. Well, yesterday and today. It's summer, and so you expect to like have the kids running around and all this extraness. Hey Laurel, welcome in. And enjoy your lurk at work. And my house is dead silent because Lexi's at work all day. And Ryan had summer school in the morning, and then as soon as he got home, he put on sunscreen and went to the pool. So it's an odd sensation to be in summer and the kids be like, not that they're busy, they're always busy, but like a busy that doesn't involve me. It's just different. Vicky is working on Raven Queen today. Awesome. Filling in some black on her dress, right? And the little bit of stitching you get to do in between chasing the puppy around. No thunder this week. What does that mean? Oh, the puppy fell asleep. He wore himself out. Oops. Oh, are you talking about when I was stitching in the house last week? We had storms roll through. I'm still just absolutely adoring this 40 count. Just last week Ryan couldn't go to the pool because of thunder. Right, yeah. No thunder today. So at least not so far. He's been able to go. He's been gone for just over half an hour. I mean, he literally. We try and make the kids lunches before they get home so that they can eat as soon as they get home, because like Lexi only has a 30-minute lunch break, and we know Ryan's gonna be hungry as soon as he gets home. So I had lunch ready, and he was like, as soon as I can eat this, can I put on sunscreen and leave? Sure, buddy, go ahead. And he at least somewhat listened to the dietitian when we were talking with her yesterday, because he had breakfast before he left for school this morning. That was one of her key things. Eat breakfast so that you don't get so hungry at lunch that you feel like you need to eat the entire kitchen. To take more than 20 minutes to eat a full meal, like dinner. I mean, if he took 20 minutes to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for breakfast, I mean, that's creative. And then she went over like plate separation. You know, half of it needs to be vegetables and a quarter meat and a quarter starch. So, and then we promptly made enchiladas, which threw all of that out the window. I saw how much Shannon got done on hers. Like, I saw her picture. I was so jealous. This is the first time in a while where I feel like I could probably be monogamous on this project for a minute. Like, I could probably give it a whole week. I say that and I don't really want to take it to work tomorrow because work is dirty. I'm frustrated with work because I'm trying to send this woman money and she won't verify her address. It seems kind of suspicious. I kind of want to be like, I can close the case if you prefer. Yeah, it's not very often that you say, here, I want to give you money. Please give me your address. And they, like, don't. I'll take her money. I'll give you my address. She doesn't want it. Vicky says, do it. Just tell her you're going to close the case. Do you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can make that offer? You know, I am already over summer. Not like summer from school summer, summer the heat of the year summer. And it's technically not even summer yet. I should take it to my boss, but he's going to email his boss and have the department. I don't want that. It's a whole to do if you have to do it. Hey Enid, welcome in. Did you even get to finish my floss tube before I had you over here for the live? I feel like my camera's really high. I need to move to Alaska where it's cold. Yeah, I'd be good with that. They usually give umpteen chances before they close a case. Yeah. Especially if you're handing money back. Well, no, I guess you'd think that's when they would close it pretty easily. It's when you owe them money that they would take forever to close it, right? Nope, didn't get to finish the floss tube. I recommend anybody watching my floss tube to stay after the end scene. You know, the purple window thing. Because halfway through the video, you'll notice a cut. And it's because my husband decided to jump in and scare me because he forgot I was recording. And so I clipped it out, but I added it to the end of the floss tube because my face is pretty funny. So, and while I didn't want to leave it in the middle and disrupt things and everybody be like, what is going on? I still wanted y'all to see it, so I added it to the end. Right. Oh, I don't think I brought my pen out here. It's rude. Didn't I though? You're down 12 pounds? That is awesome. If that was a goal. Because it's not awesome for everybody. There are people that don't need to be losing weight, but for some people, it's a big achievement. Oh. Do I go for more gold or do I jump down to the red? What do y'all think? It's so tempting. Gold or red? Yeah, since May 29th. Not bad. Girl, me too. Like, more than half the population, if you go by typical BMI standards, it's kind of dumb. But it's still good to be. You're my favorite, Kate. I like when you enable me. Okay, I gotta get it all prepped first. I didn't cut it last night. It's really like red and purple if you think about it. That's a red purple. Do you have any tips and tricks and pointers, Enid? Other than having to walk all over the place? Because you do seem to do that. Where is... blood pressure is climbing and it scares me. I don't want to have to be medicated. It's understandable. am stitching the bloom kit from Designworks. Very nice. Okay, what did I do there? There we go. I'm getting knots over here. This is not going the way it's supposed to. 1 meal a day and some days no exercise. I am taking a rest day, so I just do housework. I can't ask a 14-year-old boy to only eat 1 meal a day. He'd have a heart attack. I'm stitching this kit in memoriam of the plants we lost due to the hailstorm. We lost at least 3, and some of my lilies are absolutely shredded. Lovely. Gotta love Mother Nature. At least it's her fault and not yours. I can't keep a plant alive. Like, nope. Our roof shingles have to be replaced. Ugh. This thread is not cooperating with me today. It says no. I don't want you to stitch me. We will join forces and make sure that you cannot get us undone. Seriously though, this thing is insane. Hey Kat, welcome in. What are you working on today? Enid, I like your wood thing you have there. Thank you. This is welcome in Cross. Hello, happy Tuesday. It's going. I'm apparently like I'm in Knot City over here trying to get this thread clipped. So this wood thing is a thread winder. I got it from Stacy Stitches Creative Studio. She was at a retreat that I was at, and I just picked one up. But she does have Etsy, I think, some sort of website. She's in the process of moving from Florida to Tennessee, so I don't think she's got her shop going right now. But that's where I got it, and they're a little spendy, but it's a fun tool to have. Before I would just fold it in like 4 and clip it, but this thing's fun. When I'm not getting a huge knot in my thread. Nothing yet. I meant to wake up early and work on stuff, but I slept in on it. Girl, sleeping on in every day. Every chance you get. And with little ones, that's not always. Ooh, Tennessee, that's where I am. Yep. I don't know where in Tennessee she moved to, but I do know that she's moving from Florida to Tennessee. Cross. You have 3 sizes of these? Yeah. Yeah, I know they come in different sizes. I think I bought the biggest one. Because I'm like, well, I can always just fold them in half and cut them down, right? Oh my goodness, this is... Enid, how does the winding work? Is it for bobbins or a thread organizer? I use bobbins, so I'll show you if I ever get this knot done. Exactly how it works. It's basically to cut your threads into specific lengths so that they're all the same length. Because you know, sometimes when if you've got a bobbin and you're just unwinding it, and you count to 10. That's what I used to do. This 10 may not be the same length as that 10 because of whatever reason. This kind of prevents that. Oh my goodness, this thing is really just... I don't usually have to work so hard on a knot. There we go. I also don't have any nails, so that's not helping. Give it to me. I should have brought my glasses. Slept in a bit today because you were tired. I got a lot of exercise and kids not in school, so it's just a lot. Go, go, go. Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying, probably before you got here, like, it's summer and both my kids, well, are technically out of school, and yet it's so quiet around my house because my daughter just got her first job. And so she left for work at 8 o'clock this morning. And then my son has summer school. So he was gone most of the morning. And as soon as he got home for lunch, he left to go to the pool. So, like, it's weird. Because like I said, they've been busy in the summer before. But I'm always having to, like, drive them around or do things with them. And now they're big enough to do it on their own. I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm an empty nester in a few years. Like... party. Ha. I had my daughter when I was 19. So it's going to be like having the 20s that I never had. Oh my goodness. We are almost there. We've got this one knot left. And it just does not want to cooperate. How much stitching did you get done on stream today? Well, you see, it took me an hour to get this knot out of this thread. My son's home. Hey, Holly, welcome in. You stitching and relaxing today? We are almost there. Nap. We're having a nap. Yeah, he went swimming. Well, he's already back, so he's only been gone an hour. Ryan starts high school this year. So 4 more years? Well, let's be real. Ryan probably won't move out immediately. Lexi will, I think. But Ryan, I don't think will, so... maybe not as quick as I think. But still. I'm almost there. Thank goodness for froggers. They work very well for picking out a knot too. Move ever so slowly. Don't anger the beast. Because I don't want to start all over again. Okay. Oh. Just keep it nice and loose. I think we're there. Oh, freedom! Hey, Rhino. I was just talking smack about you, and now you're here. I thought you were going to the pool. What happened? Kids tend to stay home longer now. My oldest stepson didn't move out till he got married at 25. Okay. So, I'm not going to unwind what I've gotten done because we don't want to risk a knot again. But, you start off your thread... stick it in this little hole, right? And I stick it in just enough to kind of hold my finger over it on the back. And then you wind your floss around the wood. Let me lift up a little bit here so y'all can see. There's my floss. So I just go up and down, and you see these grooves make it so that the floss doesn't slip off. And of course this one's going to be a little short and it's not going to come all the way around. That's okay. So then there's this notch right here, and we stick our scissors inside the groove and clip, and it makes them all, sometimes the very last length isn't the same size as all the rest, but for the most part they're all a uniform length. So, which, since I'm doing one strand on this project, is actually kind of a little too long, but I've been making it work. So, and then I take that. It was fun, but I wanted to come back home. I was there for an hour. Oh. Yeah, but most kids stay there like all day. Is Gage not still up there? Okay, and then I just wind well, hold on, let me take one to stitch with, because here's the short one. So this is the color I was about to work on. And I just wind it around the bottom. Yes, but I got hot. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty warm today. Alright. And there, this bobbin doesn't have the niches in the bottom. I might have to create them later, but right now we're just putting it on there. So, let me fix my camera in here. There we go. Alright, there we go. His warm is a huge understatement. What is the weather today? Here's the portion of the segment where we always talk about where we live and what the weather is like. If you're comfortable with sharing, please let us know. I am currently in West Texas, out near Midland, Odessa, the desert of Texas, if you didn't know we had one. And it is currently 102 degrees, sunshiny, with 7% humidity. So, I agree, Enid. I am sick of being hot. It is. It's hot. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? I grabbed 2 threads. I'm so used to working with 2 that I forgot. Another reason for my rest day. Stay inside and do not get sweaty. I'm out in the shed and I have an AC and I have the fan pointed at me and I'm still sweating a bit. It's not enough to irritate me, so we can do this. But once it starts getting irritating, I'll be like, okay, and I'm done. It's only 77 there. You are a little bit of a baby. Sun is brutal though. Syracuse, New York is 88. I'm just teasing you, Enid, I promise. Laurel is in Los Angeles at 71 degrees. We're gonna have to do some major counting on this one. Roseville, California, just outside Sacramento, up in the north. It is currently 88, but we're supposed to hit 101 today. Yeah, because you still got a couple hours, so you're in the heat of the day where I'm at. Ohio, cloudy and 85, storms coming in later. 25% humidity here. 25 is still not too bad. I mean, it's up there, but it's not too bad. Northwest Arkansas, 79 with an 80% humidity. Oh my gosh, that is some humidity. I'm menopause, 65 feels a bit hot to me. To be fair, like, my sweet spot is in the 60s. So, like, I totally get it. 77 is warm. It isn't noon yet. Right, exactly. Maryland is 88. Welcome in, Karen. How are you doing today? I still need to file that thing with USPS. I'm hoping your chart should be in today. I don't have a car right now. My daughter took it to work. So I will check this afternoon and see if it's in the post office and get it sent out to you. I have the other chart, but I didn't have the love bugs. You had bought my last one, and The postal service lost one of my packages, and it's been a headache. But at least they finally admitted it's lost, so I can file a claim on it. I don't know how to pronounce that, Debbie, but in Alaska it's 52 and sunny. I'll take that. Let's all move to Alaska. Vicki, we've had rain for the past week and more coming in. I try, Karen. I mean, I'm still fairly new. In fact, I've never actually had a lost package before, so I've had to resend some out, and then the package I sent previously ends up at their door. So, but I do my best. All right, I'm gonna double check that I did this right. I think I went one too many. I know, you suggested that. But I'm saying we should all do it together. We'll make a Stitchy community up in Alaska. Yeah. We've actually gotten a little bit of rain. More rain than we're used to, because again, desert. And I actually saw a mosquito today. I'm like, oh no. This is why I moved away from the Gulf Coast. No mosquitoes, please. Actually, no, I have it exactly right. You know, until next week when I go to pick it up again, and it's like, why does this not look right? Because I can't count. You know who's the worst at counting? Counted cross stitchers. I'm so excited, Kate. Why? You said red. Look at the red! I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. You don't want Vicky's. It contains tornadoes. So was the one stuff down here in Midland. We've had a couple tornadoes. Poor Oklahoma and all the tornadoes. Ohio's been getting it's been insane this year. I think they've already counted over 1,000 tornadoes for the year. It's insane. Kelly, are you stitching on something, did you say? Of course, nobody is required to stitch to hang out with us, but if you are, we like to know what it is. Because we're big giant enablers around here. Are we blaming Star Dragon on Kate, or are we blaming it on Cheryl? I can't remember. I think we're blaming Carolyn Manning on Cheryl and Star Dragon on Kate. Is that the plan? Us cross stitchers just notice how bad we are at counting because we do it so much. There's that. Holly is stitching on her new start. And Kelly's stitching on an adventure baby announcement with a bear. Aww. Yeah, so you started Vintage Black Sampler last night from Al Forrest Embroidery, and you are stitching on it again today. I did not remember that myself. Kate reminded me. I mean, I knew I just didn't know the name of it. Yep, we're blaming Kate for the Al Forrest. enabling enabler. Hands-on design summer. Very nice. The pup is awake. I gotta go. It was fun hanging out with y'all. I thought we were blaming Carolyn Manning on Sammy. No, Sammy is pushing the blame. I tried pushing it on Kate because Kate's who I saw stitching Carolyn Manning designs and made me want to do it. And apparently Cheryl is who enabled Kate. So, Summer Bird. Hands-on design Summer Bird is what Karen is working on. Kelly, it will match the moose version I did for their little brother. That's awesome. Heart in hand. Kelly Manning is the blame Sammy Sal. Yeah. Oh, I forgot we do have a hashtag. When I mentioned it on my video yesterday. Stitching on stained glass chrysanthemum. Very nice. To match your name, stained glass and samplers. Wonders of the James Webb Space Telescope is what Kate is working on. Trying to get caught up on those Sals. I just put that stitch in and I have... Okay. I wasn't on the part of the pattern where it shows it. I'm so stinking excited about this project. I can't even contain myself sometimes. I was looking at the community board to see what I need to pull out to stitch on today, and I was and Casey like paused his show and he's like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I get to work on the dragon some more. And he's like, "Oh." Laurel says I'll be working on the fairy in a bit. You're working on fairy during lunch instead of frogging to Telestai? Sandy, good morning. Worked last night, so taking a bit to wake up this morning. Completely understandable. Good time zone to you all. I slept in this morning too, so I had just enough time to get my daily 100 in on Alice, make lunch, and then show up. I have to work a half a day tomorrow. Oh, you finished frogging to Telestai. Very nice. Oh, that went in the wrong one. Yeah, thinking about starting a floss tube and was playing around with names. Your name's Christy. Welcome in, Christy. It's so hard. It's so intimidating because you're like, when I pick something, I've gotta stick to it. I can't change it. So, once you establish yourself, you feel like you can't. So you got to know that that's what you want it to say before you get started. Those threads are pretty, Sammy. Thank you. They're the Alforce embroidery threads that that I ordered for this project. You went to days and now it sees I'm on nights now for the last 6 weeks. Just keep missing each other. Yeah, going on days was not my first choice, but every shift has its pros and its cons. So I'm not hating it, but I do miss being on night shift. And one of the pros I thought I was getting out of going to days, it looks like I might not be getting, so there's that too. But I get to have dinner with the family at night, and like on my days off, it's not like having to swap my schedule around. No sleeping in for me. Chainsaws at 8:30 a.m. Boo. That's just rude. I'm sorry. Construction work should not start before 9 a.m. Just, that's not even right. I was up at 7:30, but just to make sure Ryan got off to school and Lexi got to work, and then I went back to bed. Went to bed at 4 a.m. Ooh. Some jerk was chainsawing after 9 p.m. here. Like, how do you not accidentally chop off a finger when it's that dark? If we have any lawyers in the house, Kate may need your assistance. Come on. We have a house remodel across the street going to be nosy for a few months. Lovely. You used a floodlight, which made it even worse because now you've got the bright light and the sound of chainsaw. Come on, stop twisting. Come on. I cannot seem to get this knot. Murderous rage is gone. Alright, we've calmed down some. No longer need a lawyer. Then he got into an altercation with some other guy and they were shouting over whether he messed it all up or something. My neighborhood is rarely boring. I haven't heard a bunch of stalls and stuff going like that at 1 a.m. one night, and it turned out there was a huge fire a couple buildings over, and it was the fire department. Well, I mean, sometimes it's necessary. Come on. Come on, dear, not. Ah, broke the thread. Crap. This is one of the downfalls of working on such a long piece. Okay. Luckily, it was at the very end of the thread. Ex-neighbors got into fisticuffs right in their front yard, and cops kept showing up there. Cop came by to my door asking if I had seen the creep over there once. I was like, what? Like, I mind my own business. Thank you. Okay. Try this again. Hate it when I start a new thread and it immediately gets a knot. Yeah, I'm only using one thread instead of two, and so they're super long, and sometimes like the first thing it wants to do is knot. Do I look like the FBI? love this color variegation. It's going to be bright and dark and all the things a flower should be. Not that one. Sulky thread is like, our thread doesn't tangle. I can tangle sulky. I know, I should just cut them in half, but I'm being stubborn. Because you know how nice it is when you can make it through the entire piece of thread and it's like 130 stitches done. That's awesome. So I'm being stubborn at the moment. It'll probably happen eventually, especially when I'm not in a situation where I can kind of take it slow and get the knots out. So. Sulky is great. I like Sulky. Sulky's thicker though, especially than this stuff. Where is my... There we go. I was doing a weird lean and my shoulder was not appreciating it. Minus the 10 minutes you spend on knotting it. Yeah. Just remember that when you give me my stitch count later. That I spent 10 minutes undoing a knot. Maleficent's off hiding over here. That is a strong magnet. And I'm so used to doing, I think they call it the English method or the Danish, I don't know, where you go all the way down one way and then come back. I'm used to doing that in blocks of color like this, so having to remind myself to do each stitch individually, think about it. But I love the way it's going. He'll deduct it from my count. I think it's fun to guess and see how many stitches I did on stream, although y'all are very generous. Y'all always think I stitch way faster than I do. Not that I'm a slow stitcher, but just y'all always give me impressive numbers. It is. It's so pretty. I'm loving this project. I was telling them earlier, Enid, it's the first time in a long time where I've almost considered going monogamous for a little bit, because I'm like, I just want to work on this. It'd probably only last about a week, but still. I always complete my stitches 1x at a time. Most people do, or a lot of people do. Laurel, do you know what age a child has the right to say they don't want to go with a parent? I think in Texas it's 12. I don't know what it is there in California. think Ohio is 12 also. Something like 12 or 13 seems the general consensus. Father is really mean to granddaughter because he won't do anything said. They have too many cases. Oh shoot. Maybe if I highlight, I'll quit miscounting. Pardon me, I shall count for a minute. Ugh. I'm gonna be frogging. For anybody out there counting, that's twice now on this project. Working with Sulky, got a knot on perforated paper and just ripped the project. Oh no, Karen. Oh no. How far are you into the project? She will be 12 day after Christmas, so hoping she decides not to go, it will be okay. He threatens daughter always that he will get her and she will not see her again. Bottom complete on part of the bird. I'm not sure what to do there. I've only done like 2 Mill Hill kits and that were on perforated paper. So not sure how you go about mending that. Bye, Kate. Enjoy your day. Plant was dying, going to get some Ada. Okay. Got that fixed. This is such a large nerge, which was great because I was okay. So on 40 count, doing 1/2. This project is 14 by 27, and that's with a 2-inch border. Um, 14 by 27, and this fabric, supposed to be 18 by 27, is actually only 18 by 26. So I need to be real careful about my margins, and so I don't have a lot of room up at the top, and nerges are great for that because they're not as big around as Q snaps, and want to stitch during these, but life seems busy when you work nights. Both granddaughters graduating from their schools this week. I tasked with picking up the legs. Awesome. So that's why I don't have it on a Q-snap, I have it on a nerge, but it's a really big nerge, and I feel like I'm having to really reach to stitch on it. So it may need to go down to a little bit smaller one, which is currently being used by something else, so I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Maybe I can move that one onto a Q-snap until I work on getting more nerges. I'm really bad about jumping all over the place. So, like, I could have finished off the gold, but I really wanted to see what the red looked like. And Kate said I could. So, I switched to the red. I've got a lot done already. It looks good. Thank you. Yeah, I did most of this part last night when we started it. And then some of this gold and this red is from stream today. I was glad y'all picked it because otherwise it probably would have been put up for the rest of the month. And I wanted to work on it some more. So. So we started these last night. There was a group of us on Zoom, started together, and so probably be my only new start this month, unless I finish something, one of my smalls. Um, does anybody else have plans to start anything soon? I don't have any hard and fast plans until my birthday when we do the Carolyn Manning start. I have to work a half day tomorrow, so I go in at noon and work till 6, which is very different. I've never really done half shifts before. Um, So it's not really a work day, but not really a day off. So I think in that justification, I'm going to do a daily 100 on Alice and a daily 100 on my work project. I think that we'll see how well I get up in the morning. There's that. But I finished a page on Alice today, and so I had to move the Q snap, and I want to get that new page started. It is only June 3rd, and I have knocked out so many of my June goals already. It's a little shocking. Because 500 on this was one of my categories. I did 500 on Epic Pokemon the other day. That was one of the categories. I'm working on Celebrate Halloween. I got 300 yesterday. Hopefully I can get the more this afternoon. I already did my salve for June and one of my focus pieces. It's insane. Y'all think I didn't do anything but sit and stitch. Refresh chat just in case. This flower is going to be so interesting. It's just it's such a big piece. This one is 185 by 445. That is, it does not look that big. And it was funny because I was telling Casey that last night. I said, here's the picture that I'm stitching on, this above my head, and here is what I got done tonight. And he was like, oh, that's a big piece, because I have this entire motif, which is, you know, up there on the top of the pattern, and there's still so much more to go. So yeah, it's a big one. Oops. Just threw my phone. I'm gonna make sure Abelonia has 100 stitches and then do 200 on Thine is the Trick. Depending on what that gets me, I might just finish out the February section. Very nice. Trying to get caught up on that stitch along. Aw, kids are down, finally. It's that nap time. Debating on stitching or taking a nap. I understand. When they're little like that, you gotta sleep when the kids sleep. and trying to finish May categories. Yep, but you're getting close on those, right? I'm already halfway done with June's categories. I'm telling you, it's a little ridiculous. I don't know where all this stitching time came from all of a sudden. And I think I actually mentioned that on my video because, like, or maybe it was on Zoom. After I got laid off, it was so hard to find a rhythm where I felt comfortable just letting myself relax and stitch. I always felt like, oh, well, you could be, you know, installing ceiling fans or a new toilet or doing laundry, dishes, all those around the house chores. And so I would do a bit of both, but I found I was only getting a couple hundred stitches each day. And now that I've gone back to work, I've found a better balance and I'm getting, you know, 500 to 600 stitches a day. Sometimes a little bit more. Just depends on my focus. Because getting up at 3:30 in the morning makes me very tired. And so I have a hard time focusing when I'm tired. So I'll get to work and be just like zone out to Facebook videos, you know? Did something wrong. Again. So I found that I had a beautiful tall teacup that has a fatal crack up one side. So I washed it and I'm going to use it as a pretty Ort container. That's a cute idea. I'm going to go highlight again so I can figure out where I messed up. Abalone, and then is the trick will finish the categories. Awesome. Right there. Got that one and that one. That's 5. 6. Okay. So if anyone feels like sharing, um, how many whips do you have going right now? I think this one put me at 38. And my goal is to whip down to 30, which, you know, starting something massive like this doesn't really help that too much. But, you know, you also can't restrict yourself too much or else you'll just, well, at least for me, I'll rebel against myself. Apparently your cat likes salami. I found out my cat likes cream of chicken soup the other day. He was licking the can. My cats don't typically like try and get people food, so it was very odd. Mostly they just like to smell whatever I'm eating. Don't tell me what to do. Exactly. I can't even tell myself what to do. I'll start being like, nah. Holly likes starting all the things. Laurel's at 35. Honestly, that's a bit higher than I expected for you, Laurel. Of course, you tend to hyper focus on like a handful of those, but still, 35. You're almost up there with me. I do. I have at the beginning of the year, I set a goal for each one of my projects. Um, this year it was, Karen, you have 30. It's awesome. One for every day of the month. um, I set a goal at the beginning of the year for each of my whips, and so like this year it's 2,000. If I hit 2,000 on a project, if I don't pull it back out again the rest of the year, that's fine. But at least I know it got significant progress during the year and things don't languish for years on end. Um, so I have a few that have hit that. Kelly, I haven't counted, but I can normally find something to fit the Whippagories. Figuring out my oldest is hard because I have some baby announcements that I started 20 years ago and now don't think I'll finish, as I don't remember who they were for. Laurel, I know, but I've been starting all the things and not finishing very much, as one does. Holly says I have 102 whips and you UFO'd something. What do you UFO? Yeah, and really, the Whippagories is a challenge to yourself. So if you need to, what am I doing? You can be lenient with yourself about what is considered your oldest whip. Like if you have 5 from 2000, and it can be any one of the 5. I do that too because my oldest whip is my full coverage and I don't like to use it for categories. So my next oldest whip will be considered my oldest whip, or I'll use a focus piece that I've designated for if something doesn't fit into the Whippagories. How do I store all of them? I'm fortunate enough that I have lots of Vic bags. I know not everybody can afford bags like this. I also have some of the Amazon ones. I'm not using them anymore, but I have them, the little mesh zip bags, and I put them in these and I stack these on a shelf. Well, actually for me, it takes up 3 cubby holes on one of those block IKEA things. And I just stack them, line them up. Modern Fork Embroidery Sal from last year just isn't my jam. Hey, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you have to be realistic with yourself. I started to UFO Fairy Tale Lands because I just wasn't feeling the pull to it anymore, and when I started it, it's a bunch of classic fairy tales, right? So I thought, ooh, my kids will absolutely love these. My kids are teenagers now. They're not going to hang up a bunch of kiddie story stuff on their walls. So I was going to UFO it, but then I decided I still wanted to work on it. I was just going to do one motif at a time, and if it took me 20 years, that's fine. And then I was like, maybe someday I have grandkids or something that it'd be ready for. I don't know. If not, that's okay too. Hand them out as random baby shower gifts at some point. I don't know. Holly says hers are in mesh zip bags in 2 baskets. There you go. Keep them by the couch. Have them ready to go. I'm too short for that last stitch. Go figure. Look, we've almost got a leaf. Alright, red, gold, or that color. What color are we stitching on next? I'll just let the chat decide. First to ring in. 20-year-old baby announcements where you don't remember the recipients need to be UFO'd. Yep. Or you don't put the information on there, just finish them up and then give them as a gift at a baby shower. I'm sure they're cute pictures. What color is this called? I don't know. It's in Russian, isn't it? Bogwood. Bronze, bogwood, or cherry. That's the plan. Yeah. What do y'all think? I think I need to pick them up off the floor. Red. More red. Okay. Laurel wins. We can't. Oh, Cat said bogwood, but red won. We'll have to do bogwood next. Oh, the right end. It's an interesting name, isn't it? I'm glad they do English translations because most their chart is in Russian, and I would have no clue. I have a 20-year-old happy everything that I might restart as it is cute, but the fabric got stained. Is it a part of the fabric that would actually show? Because there's that. I always take that into consideration. Onto the ferry. Laurel's gonna get 41 stitches in the ferry. That's my prediction. Not spilling soda on her. She's not allowed to have soda. Cross, it would show and it's white, yeah. Here we are, already making knots. There's a minor one though. How long do y'all usually work on a new start before you let yourself switch? Did you try washing it to see if you could get the stain out? Back then that was what you did, but I think I'll look at all the fun fabrics I have now to put it on. That's a good point. Fun fabrics change the stitching game. Because I never really liked stitching on white. Because I would always get it dirty. I'm just not mindful enough to keep white white. Yesterday you got 21. Well, quit typing and you'll get 41. That's not true because we weren't on the air yesterday. It was very hard for me to start this one at the top because that beautiful dragon at the bottom, I'm like, I want to get to the dragon as fast as possible. But I knew working up was not something I was comfortable with. So we started top center. 4. My floss tube was late, but I managed to get it up yesterday. And told myself I was going to try and vlog this week so that I don't feel that rush to sit in here for an hour and talk to a camera. Have I done that? Nope. I have not vlogged at all. Of course, I could do a quick catch-up one and then start tomorrow, but which is probably what I'll do. Or not. I don't know. I'm a mess. Because at work, it's not such a problem, but at home, you know, I'm sitting in the living room with my husband, and he's watching TV, and I'm ready to go to bed, and it's just, I don't think about, let me take these whips to the bedroom with me and show them off to everybody before I go to sleep. I have a feeling when Lexi gets home tonight, she's going to go straight to bed. She's going to be so tired. She didn't sleep very well last night. And then she's working maintenance today, so she says she's like mopped floors and turned over a room after a patient left and different stuff. And she's like, I think I'm high off cleaner. But she's still enjoying it, so very excited to get her first paycheck this weekend. And then Dad's gonna have to take her to go open up a bank account because I will be at work. Getting in a groove here. Poor Lexi, welcome to the world of adulting, right? Which she'll embrace it. She's like me, where she mentally grew up a lot faster than, you know, age-wise. I was always pretty mature for my age, hanging out with people that were older than me and things like that. She's a lot like that too. So she embraces it, but yeah, I feel for her. I just want her to be a little baby forever. warm. I wonder how warm it is in here. Like, the weather outside's 103 now. What was I gonna look at? Oh, how warm is it in here? Oh, I chipped my phone when it fell. It's 81 in here with the AC and the fan. So, picturing Rachel and friends doing the who is FICA and why are they taking my money? Yeah. No, Lexi's aware that, taxes are going to come out. So. And I told her she has to put a third of it into her savings account. So, we're not just going to go crazy and spend all the monies. Good morning, Zeb. Welcome in. Because she was even like, yesterday, I think when I get paid, I'm going to go buy me a Stanley. Okay. You do that, because that's not a whole lot of money, but, like, you're putting money into savings. $81 with AC. Yeah. See, I'm in one of those sheds, and we insulated and put up walls, but we haven't finished the roof yet. And so it's like the heat just... Hey, Janet, welcome in. 103 is way too hot. How do you not die? I stay in the AC. That's how I not die. Like, you should see me at work blasting the AC in the Jeep. I keep that thing like an icebox. But yeah, so we're still working on, like, you can even see, I'll show you. It's a mess, but camera moving. See, it's not done up there. There's a little bit of insulation. Some's hanging down because I haven't gotten the cover over it. So until we get it finished, the AC just kind of like, oh, sorry, this is horrible. AC just kind of, it floats up, the heat floats in, I don't know, but it struggles to keep up. Around this time last year, so before this time last year, we had like a double wide trailer. It was kind of big. It was 4 bedroom, 2 bath, and I used the 4th bedroom as my craft room. So my craft stash while we were there got excessive, and not anything that I'm willing to part with. So when we had to move back into our old house that's smaller, it's a 3 bedroom, 1 bath. There really wasn't anywhere for all my crafting stuff and my business stuff. And so they happened to have this shed for sale. And so I grabbed it up, and little by little we're making it into my craft room / shop. Ideally, what I thought about doing when we first got it was this half would be my crafting stuff and that half would be Casey's exercise stuff. And that may still happen at some point, but right now it's more, this half is my crafting and shop, and that half is storage that has a lot of junk over there. So... like, I have a mini fridge out here that I can't get to right now. Like, I could if I tried hard, but... okay, I gotta make sure I'm doing this right. 2... so good. Why can't you get to the fridge? Sammy, you need hydration in that heat. I have drinks. I do. I have a drink right here. I'm keeping away from the stitching. But there's just stuff in my way, Holly. there's so like I can slide the computer chair out of the way. I could probably get around that pile of whatever's right there, and then I'd have to move. We had extra pieces of drywall that I need to move to the other side, and then I'd be able to get to it just fine. So it's just a matter of not being lazy and getting that half cleaned up. It'll have to happen after the summer because, like, when I'm done with this stream, I think I'm gonna go take a cold shower. It's hot. There's enough breeze on me that I don't feel heated, but I'm sweating, so. Welcome to Texas heat. Make them clear the way. Yeah. And it's great when they'll listen, but most of the time it's like they're teenagers and oh my gosh, I just can't. Diabetic but isn't drinking soda. I'm drinking sugar-free soda, and I do have a bottle of water. I do. Look at all my friends being mother hens. I kind of feel like y'all don't want me to go back to the ICU this year. Just an inkling that I have. I gotta tell you, diabetics drink diet or zero soda. Yeah, it's diet. Look, this one's not even open yet. Diet. I gotta admit, I'm a little nervous to go camping this year after what happened last year. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be even safer, but it does have my anxiety up a little bit, because 3 days in ICU was not. I think you missed the first part of the post. Oh, your dragons aren't allowed to have whatever you're drinking either. I'm guessing you're diabetic but isn't drinking soda. Gotcha. Yeah, nope. I keep the soda over there, away from the dragons. 'Cause I don't know. I could see those baby dragons wanting some. What is that shiny can you've got there? No ICU this year. You already tried to die once. No more of that. What happened last year? Okay. Story time. It started out, I went camping with my family. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a diabetic. And I'm fairly new to being a diabetic the last couple years, and so there's some stuff I'm still learning. And we went camping last year, and I put on sunscreen, and I reapplied sunscreen multiple times. And so but I still sunburned. And what's worse is, like, so we were tubing down the river, and there was a bunch of us in tubes, and we had one tube that had our ice chest in it. And kids are going to go play, and my husband was scuba diving, and everybody was everywhere. I was keeping track of the ice chest. And so what I did was I hooked the rope handle on top of my foot. So every time it would try and get away, I was stopping it, but it was rubbing the top of my foot where I had already gotten a sunburn. So I got a sunburn and a rope burn on the top of my feet. And when I tell you, this was like, it was disgusting. The look at the top of my feet. Sorry, Zeb. I thought I turned that off yesterday. I gotta go figure out why they keep yelling at people for using caps. So anyway, I got this sunburn rope burn on the top of my feet, which basically became like sun poisoning. And so my feet were swelling up real bad, and my legs were swelling up real bad. And so I went to my doctor, and it was causing some issues with my blood pressure. So they put me on blood pressure medication. And while we were there, we started rediscussing my diabetes. And he wanted to try a new medicine that is supposed to help with your A1C. And it's a weekly shot. And he said it does have some gastro side effects, but, and it's one of those that takes a couple weeks to get into your system. So, but then I should start seeing a significant improvement, not only with my A1C, but also with appetite and this and that and the other. So I took my first shot, and the first week went okay. Had a little bit of nausea, but by the end of the week, I didn't crave food anymore. I would still make myself eat, because I know, like, not eating is not good for a diabetic either. But, I would sit down and maybe eat half of what I would normally eat before I was like, I'm just not interested in the food. And that's never happened to me in 35 years, not wanting food. Even when I'm full, sometimes I'll eat because I just want food all the time. And so it was an interesting sensation. And then I took my second week shot, and the nausea got worse and worse. And I think I was also not hydrating well enough, because you need even more when you're on this medicine. So anyway, I got to where I was very sick, and I was vomiting 24 hours a day for several days. So on a Friday, I went into the ER, and I was like, and it's not like I could stop taking the medicine, right? I took a shot at the beginning of the week. I had to let it work itself out of my system, and then I was just not going to take it anymore. But I could not keep any food down. I couldn't keep water down, anything. So I went to the hospital, and they checked all my levels, and everything was fine. I was just a little dehydrated, so they gave me some fluids and sent me home with some anti-nausea medicine, which I cannot fill till Monday because it was late at night, and our pharmacy is closed on the weekends. Over the course of the weekend, I continued to be sick a lot, to the point where by Sunday evening, I was pretty over it. And I was like, this is the worst of the worst. I can't handle this anymore. So I went back to the hospital, and at that point, I was even starting to vomit blood because my throat was just so raw from being sick. And the doctor came in and told me I was going to the ICU because I was in diabetic ketoacidosis, and literally all my vitamins were gone. They spent 3 days regulating my insulin, pumping me with magnesium and phosphate and potassium and just any vitamin you can think of. And I actually had to sign paperwork before I got into the ambulance saying I might not actually make it to the hospital, that I could die along the way. And I had nobody there with me because my husband was at work. My kids were asleep because they had school the next day. So basically, I guess this paperwork gave them permission, like, if anything happened, they'd tell my family, well, look, She knew the I knew how severe it was. And I was actually on the phone with my husband, and I did not tell him. I didn't need him any more freaked out than he already was. And so I was like, I'm going to the ICU. I'm probably going to be there a couple days. And and so it wasn't the camping trip that caused it, but being sick from the camping trip, one, made me struggle with the dehydration more, but also it preempted my doctor to try me on the new medicine, which was the big factor. And it's because I think, like, thinking back, I'm like, if I had just hydrated better and made myself eat even though I was getting sick, like, maybe I could have stayed on the medicine, because I really did like what it was doing for me. I had lost 50 pounds in 2 weeks, which I know is excessive and it's not right, but man, to see that kind of weight loss. Shade is my friend this year. Yeah. Well, we're not going tubing, so that's the big thing. When you're tubing, like, there's nowhere to be out of the sun. We're not doing that this year. We're just gonna go to the river and hang out. So I can find a shady spot, or I can go back to the tent. I'm not gonna be holding a tube on my foot this time. There's gonna be a lot of differences. But still, when you experience all that, you're like, do I really want to even chance getting a sunburn? The ghost look is in. Well, and like, my son has skin cancer, so like any sun that he gets causes all these growths on his skin. So like, he has to be extra careful in the sun, and there are times where I'm like, do we really have to leave the house? I love the river and I love camping, but can I just stay home? I do cross stitch while I'm camping though. I usually take a very small one, like a Quirky Quaker or something like that, and I do some stitching until I get too sweaty and irritated. Yeah, I even zoomed from my ICU bed, and everyone got to see, because when they're trying to regulate your insulin, they cannot give you insulin and give you sugar in the same vein. So I had this arm, I had insulin going in, and this arm I had sugar going in, and I was like this. All I could do was sit there like this. And my husband, the sweet man that he is, like, brought me stitching even though I told him don't worry about it. And so I was like trying to stitch like this with my, if I would bend my arms, it would occlude the stuff, and then the alarms would start going off and all the nurses would run in, and it was a whole mess. And a $14,000 hospital bill. So we're gonna try not to do that again. Of course, I know not to go on Ozempic, so there's that. Send the family camping, you stay home. Yeah. I don't think my mom would much appreciate that. Oh, what did I do? 3, 4, 3. This is only supposed to be 2. Shutter needles. I don't mind needles as long as I don't look at them while they're putting them in, because then I will flinch and we'll have a whole mess on our hands. Like the staying at home idea. Like I said, we're not going tubing this year, so that'll help. We're going to a state park instead. Where is... There we go. That looks better. I was putting sunscreen on Ryan before he went to the pool today. Doctor's orders. No, there's still something wrong. Oy vey. Okay. We got a little bit longer frogging session than I thought. I was putting sunscreen on Ryan before he went to the pool today because he has a genetic condition that predisposes him to cancer, particularly skin cancer. So we were putting sunscreen on, and I went to put sunscreen on his legs, and he's like, "Why?" I said, "Because you're going out in the sun." He's like, "But my legs will be underwater." That's worse. That's worse. It's like a microscope or like they use a little magnifying glass with the sun, and it burns the ant pile. It just magnifies. So I was rubbing his legs down with sunscreen. My phone keeps falling asleep. Why are we acting like that? Okay, back to frogging. Out of my way. This row isn't supposed to be there, so I gotta get back to it and pull it out. This is like the third time I frogged this project, Holly. To be fair, I'm blaming it on, talking and not paying attention, so. Nope. A couple more. Just a little bit more. Or do you have the frog too, Holly? There we go. 3 times, that needs to stop. Yeah. Most of them are minor, but that one was kind of excessive. Sammy's frog hop over here too. Oh geez. Somebody stop the frog before it spreads to everybody. Uh-oh. I might be having internet issues, just so y'all know. If I disappear, that's why. No frog here, don't send it to Holly. There it goes. Okay, so 42 stitches, but I have to frog 12 of them. Oh, look, I almost predicted it. Am I still here? Internet's acting up. Doesn't have any drop frames though, so still don't think so. No, I think I'm okay. I'm gonna have to type stream pretty soon. You see and still hear me? Okay. Thank you. I got stuff I've got to take care of. Boo. Okay, we got this all fixed. On the fairies of full coverage is never fun to have to frog. Adulting. Yuck. Ooh, is this the new Owl Force piece? Yes. This is right above me. Star Dragon from Owl Force Embroidery. It's not new for Owl Forest, it's just new to me. I started this last night with a group of friends. And it is amazing. It's one I don't really want to have to stop working on. Yeah, over one. It just, full coverage stitches tend to be a bit tighter, you know, because the full coverageness of it. Speaking of adulting, Holly's being summoned in the chat. And I'm using the Owl Force Embroidery thread pack that I had to order from Russia. But it's so good, right? Oh man, I'm not paying attention where I'm stitching. again. Let me highlight and figure out where I'm at. Yeah, Holly's ignoring it for now. They can wait a bit. Okay. I understand. Let's see. Okay. We got it figured out. We know what we're doing again. Love Alforce threads. I have a few packs, but I'm trying to whip down. I understand that. I'm still trying to whip down. I'm trying to get down to 30, but it's a little harder when you have a big piece like this that is probably not going to be finished in the next couple years. Got work texting me. What are the force thread? What are Alforce threads base thread? I believe it's cotton. There are probably other people that know better than me. Is recommended. No. Yeah, it doesn't say. I think it's DMC base though. So. Proprietary or DMC or Anchor or they have different sets, and I'm not the best one to answer this because this is literally my first time using it, but I my understanding is that they have different kinds, and they have something that's a little bit cheaper but it's not as good, and that these are the DMC base because it says DMC over here in the corner. They have a cheap Russian thread that maybe dyes a little better, but you can also get DMC. Yeah. So I know that Kate recommended to me to get the DMC version because I don't exactly know why, but they have different options. And of course, they have DMC equivalents, so you don't have to buy the specialty threads, but you see how good the color variegation looks. It's very nice. think Alforce even admits that the other thread is lower quality. If I can get this last stitch. There we go. I miss my petites. I'm getting extra thread out of them. Knowing how this 310 looks on my blue fabric, good call. I don't know. I saw that blue gray and I was like, that would work, but it'd be so much better if it were brighter. And also, I bet your DMC pops against it a little bit better. Even though I made you do the work dyeing it, especially last minute, because you were like, I want to start with y'all tonight. I need to dye fabric now. Okay, what color? What color are we working on? We got red, gold, and I don't know what you call this. The official name is bogwood. So, I don't know that I'll get through a whole nother strand, but... Oh, actually, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I am going to switch cameras. Because I'm winding down here. Like, my back is saying, we're done. And it's hot. It's sticky. But while I was at Market, I picked up some mystery thread packs. One second. Sorry, work's texting. Gold, let's see it. Sorry. I'll do the gold next, but I'm running out. I'm running out. Laurel Ann, check each colorway. I get DMC for some and Russian for some, depending on how they dyed. Okay, so while I was at Market, I got these Gentle Arts. I'm gonna move this picture. I got these Gentle Arts mystery thread packs, and I had them in the shop. They've sold out. This is one I kept for myself, and I hadn't opened it yet. So do y'all want to see what's in it? They're all different, so there's no telling what could be in here. My camera. It's a little too close now. Okay, I'm going to open this up, and we're going to see what mystery colors are in here. I have no idea, but I hope at least one of them is purple. It says, everyone loves a good mystery and an opportunity to stitch with something new. Each mystery pack contains 5 randomly selected 5-yard skeins of limited edition threads from a vast possibility of different colors. Keep them all, trade with a friend, either way, have fun with something new. Okay. Ooh, they're all dark. Ooh, I really like this one. Okay. The first one, so I think because they're limited edition, they don't have names. So, hold on, I'm gonna switch you back. Okay, let's see. This first one, it looks to have some teal and some burgundy in there. Look at that. Nice. Focus. There we go. Look at that. That's very pretty. This next one is very gold. This looks familiar. Maybe like Grecian gold, I think is maybe a Classic Colorworks. I don't know. It looks familiar though. It's very gold. It's coming through a little paler than it actually is. That doesn't help. Anyway. Next, we got a really nice brown. This is a nice chocolate. Again, they don't have names, but it's got some darker brown, some lighter brown. Super pretty. We've got green. Looks like green with a little darker green and some gold. And then we've got this brown gray color. I'm not sure what this one would signify as, but they're pretty. It's got some lighter gray in here, and then almost like a purpley gray in there. So those are the 5 mystery colors that came in this pack. I'm so curious what some of the other packs had, but I'd have to message my customers. So, those will be interesting to add to my collection. They don't have names on them, but this one says Colored Fast on it. But I randomly pull fancy flosses anyway. So, and Zeb, I have a quick question while we're live. You mentioned this. I didn't know if you actually wanted it or you were just recommending it. And I know the whole, like, I don't ship to you very often thing, but if you're interested, I can always hold on to it for a while until you get a bigger order going. So just let me know. This is that Sunflower Mill Hill kit we were talking about. I need to see if Lexi wants to try it out. So, all right, well, I think that's going to be it for us today. I'd like these. Okay, it's yours. It's set aside. I will not put it up. You're gonna get yelled at for caps again. I'm trying to figure out how to turn that off. I have some Twitch friends that are supposed to help me figure out the botting and things like that, so I'm sorry you're getting yelled at. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to move away from Streamlabs and maybe go to OBS. I don't know. I've got to have a sit down with some people who know what they're doing and maybe get... Wait, stitch count. You're right. In fact, I have a thing. Okay? Are y'all ready? So over on Twitch, and I don't have this set up yet, but I want to set it up eventually. There's this thing called the drop game, and whoever gets the highest drop gets a reward of some kind. I want to do that eventually. But I need a YouTube equivalent. So my YouTube equivalent is going to be the stitch count. Guess. Whoever gets closest to my stitch count that I have on my screen, and I can show it to you, I'm not touching it. Whoever can get closest without going over, or closest if everybody goes over, I'm going to write your name down. We're going to have a raffle at the end of the month for a $10 gift card to my shop. So, even if you're usually quiet, if you want to guess how many stitches I got done on stream today, please put some numbers in the chat. I'm going to check on this text from work while y'all brain. $309 is Holly's guess. Zeb guessed $235. I'm gonna get cleaned up too, because I've got threads all over the place. Kelly says 207 and Laurel says 150. P.S. Thanks for getting that kit, Sammy. I got excited. Are you talking about the extra one I threw in the latest package? Or something else? I can't keep up. I'm a mess. Okay. I gotta get those shipped out to people. My daughter has my car, so, you know. I gotta wait till she gets off work. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got one more color. Right? No, 4. 4's it. There's only 4 colors in this project, y'all. That is both cool and daunting. The sunflower one. Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm always ordering Millhill kits because Vicky pretty much wants them all. And so the extras either go in the shop or they get claimed before they make it to the shop. So I'm actually fixing to order a bunch because I usually, like, each time I put an order, I'll put in one Millhill kit. But the latest came out and I got a lot of requests. So I'm thinking I may just order a bunch. Y'all, I have some coworkers, man. They're interesting people. Okay, where's my bag? So, has anybody else got a guess? I'll let you look at it. See if that helps your guessing at all. So, a good portion of this was last night. We added some of the gold. The camera's backwards. It's going to drive me crazy. And all of the red today. So, it is going to take up this entire piece of fabric. I've got 1 inch margin on top and bottom. Or 1.5, I think. Just to be on the safe side. It's supposed to be a 2-inch margin, but this fabric's just a little shorter than it's supposed to be. So this is Gold Rush. It's a 40 count Verdal from Be Stitch Me. And I thought it was perfect for this pattern. So, it's on my large nerge, but my large nerge doesn't fit in the bag so well. So, we're going to have to move some stuff around. Just probably not today. It's like, I can tuck it in there, but that's as far as it goes. Threads. I'm hitting the mic all over the place. I found a stand or like a boom arm for my mic, and I put it on my Throne wish list for someday. Okay, so we're gonna call it. That's another thing I need to do is get a timer, right? Timer for how long I let people put up their guesses. The my stitch count today is 274. We need a bigger bag. No bigger bags. I'm gonna I don't know how to. It doesn't want to work with me. So 274. So I think Zeb's the closest because Holly did technically go over. Even though she might still be closer, I'm not sure. Holly is 35 off. Zeb is 39 off, I think. Yeah. Y'all were really close, like, to each other. But we're giving it to Zeb this time. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down just because and today is the 4th. Yeah. Gonna give it to Zeb this time. We'll all get plenty of chances because I'm streaming twice a week. And then once I get the Twitch set up, there's also, you could win on both if you can somehow manage to have both. Like, you could do the guess over here and play the drop game over there if you're interested in checking out Twitch. I don't have that set up yet, but I want to. That's one of the things that's kept me so interested in Twitch is the drop game, the Pokemon game, things that are keep you interactive with the channel. As much as it is fun just to sit there and stitch while you listen, it's also nice to have a little bit of interaction. So Zeb is in the raffle for the end of the month. Yeah. So we're gonna keep doing stuff like that. I wanted to get these lives going and start to get a little bit of an audience before we do specialized things. I'd like to show you the new stock that comes in every month first before it goes up on the website. Unfortunately, I don't have a car, and I think it's in the P.O. box right now. I'd like to have a live sale at some point to get some of these old charts. But until then, if you'd like to go and take a look at what's available, my website is tinyhummingbirdstitchery.myshopify.com. That's where most of my stuff is, and anything I've gotten since market is on the Facebook page. So, thank you so much for joining me. It's so much fun. I can't wait to see y'all again next Sunday. Next week is good. I'll be here Sunday and Tuesday. The 2 weeks after that, I don't know whether or not we're gonna get a stream in. If we do, it'll probably be like impromptu, not scheduled, because my work schedule is gonna have to flip flop, and then the days that I'm off, I'll be either at retreat or camping, and therefore, not available. So, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Get lots of stitching in, and I will see y'all on Tuesday. Sunday.